Good morning, class 12. Let's start. Today we are going to discuss about the factors affecting magnitude of crystal field splitting. So the first factor is the nature of the ligands. Now the ligands with greater negative charge and small size, they possess greater crystal field splitting energy. The ligands are arranged in decreasing order of the crystal field splitting energy. Now that arrangement is known as spectrochemical series. It is given as CO, Cn negative, NO2 negative, En, then amine and pyridine, they are of same magnitude. Next we have your NCS, then H2O, oxalate, hydroxo, and last the halides. Okay, so this is the spectrochemical series. Now CO, Cn negative, these are basically the strong filled ligands. CO is a strong filled ligand, NO2, Cn negative, amine, they are strong filled ligands, while ligands like H2O, that is aqua, hydroxo, they are your weak field ligands. That means strong field ligands, they possess greater splitting energy, while weak field ligands, they possess lesser crystal field splitting energy. Next factor is oxidation state of the metal ion. Now crystal field splitting energy increases with increase in oxidation state of the metal ion. If I have these two complexes, H2O whole 6, 3 positive and this one 2 positive. So since here, as we know, H2 is a neutral ligand, so here the oxidation state is +3 and here oxidation state is +2. So crystal field splitting energy will be increasing with increase in oxidation state. So this complex, first complex, will be possessing greater crystal field splitting compared to the second complex. Next, size of the d orbitals. Crystal field splitting increases with increase in size of the d orbitals. That means 3d orbitals less than 4d less than 5d. That is 5d metal orbitals, they possess maximum crystal field splitting energy. Now we know 3d belongs to the first transition series, 4d second and 5d the third transition series. Last we have geometry of the complex. Now under geometry of the complex, we basically have three geometries, that is square planar geometry, octahedral geometry and tetrahedral geometry. So the order of crystal field splitting is square planar, greater than octahedral, and then tetrahedral. That means square planar geometry has maximum splitting energy, tetrahedral has minimum splitting energy, and octahedral is the intermediate one. Okay, so these are the following factors on which the splitting energy depends. Next, we have calculation of CFSE. Now, first of all, we are going to consider about the octahedral complex. Now, CFS is what? It is your crystal field stabilization energy. If we follow the pattern in case of octahedral complex, Eg orbitals are present at the top and T2G, they are present at the bottom. That means Eg higher energy orbitals, T2G lower energy orbitals. So the electrons in case of octahedral complexes, they will be preferred to occupy the lower T2G orbitals or the stable T2G orbitals compared to the higher energy Eg orbitals, definitely. Now, so the decrease in energy due to the preferential occupation of the electrons in the lower energy stable T2G orbitals, that is only known as your crystal field stabilization energy in case of octahedral complex. Okay, now if I talk about octahedral complex for D1, D2, D3 configurations, D1 means 1 electrons in the T2G, D2 means 2 electrons in the T2G, which will be singly occupied. That means Hund's rule will be followed. And D3 means 3 electrons which are singly occupied over here. So this is my D1, this is D2, and this is your D3 configuration. right? So if I calculate the CFSE values, what are the CFSE values? D1, I have 1 electron in T2G orbital. So T2G, what was your decrease in the factor? And in case of T2G, the energy are stabilized by how much? By -4 dq. So 1 electron into -4 dq will be my CFSE value for D1. Same thing here in case of D2, I am having 2 electrons in the T2G. So 2 electrons into the factor -4 dq, because T2G they are stabilized by 4 dq and EG they are destabilized by +6 dq. Means the number of electrons has to be multiplied by the decrease or the increase in the factor. Okay, in case of D3, same thing, the number of electrons is 3 electrons in T2G, so 3 into -4. That means here I have -4 dq in case of D1. In case of D2 it is -8 dq and here it is -12 dq. Okay, now D4 configuration onwards, it basically depends on the nature of the ligand. For D1, D2, D3, the configuration, I mean the CFSE value is same whether the ligand is a strong field ligand or the ligand is a weak field ligand. Now D4 configuration onwards, my energy or my CFSE value depends on the nature of the ligands. Now first of all, I will be discussing for the strong field ligands. Strong field ligands. So in case of the D4 configuration, now strong field ligand means what? My splitting energy will be very high. Gapping will be very high. That means the electrons will be preferred to occupy the lower energy T2G orbitals. So D4 means what? 4 electrons. So already 3 got occupied in T2G. So 1 electron will get paired. My D4. Next I move to D5. D5, what is the configuration? This one. Okay, since it's a strong field ligand, splitting is more, so the electrons will prefer to get paired. D6, this is the configuration. Now as in case of D6 configuration, all the T2G orbitals get occupied. Now next electrons will be occupying the higher energy EG orbitals. That means in case of D7 configuration onwards, the electrons will be moving to the higher energy D7 because there is no other option. This is my D7. Okay, so this way we have to do the configurations. And next the CFSE value calculation, same as before I have shown. 5 electrons in T2G, so 5 -4, that is -20 dq. Sorry, 4 electrons, sorry. 4 electrons, that will be -16 dq. Here 5 electrons, so 5 into -4, that is minus your 20 dq. Here it is 6 into -4, so -24 dq. And here in case of D7, -24 dq. 24 dq plus what? Plus this one, so plus 6 dq. So overall we get -18 dq. So this way we have to do the calculation in case of your octahedral complex, right? So that's it, class 12. Thank you.